Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're doing great. Today we will start with Bitcoin and then we'll go through broader indices and review some commodities chart. And I will start with crypto. And before I go further, please hit the like button if you're liking this video. Only takes 1 second to hit the thumb button. And if you're making money, want to thank me, there's a PayPal link. I'll appreciate all the donations. All right. So Bitcoin, as it is, finding resistance. You can see if I zoom out, big resistance area here. It's finding resistance here, and on a divergence you can see PPO is going lower, price is going higher, RSI is going lower. Now we're getting some resistance here. Now you can see this trend line here. Bitcoin is holding this very nicely. If we go back here all the way here, that will be a good buy zone, and then you can look for another bump higher. Also, if I go to 1 hour chart, let's quickly see if we see anything different. Let's quickly hide these SMA lines. You can see basically you can see we made a new high here, divergent high. Again we try to go, but it's still not a divergent high, but you can see lower momentum, and at minimum I think Bitcoin, there's a possibility it can come all the way down, so be very careful here. I do expect some weakness for a week or so it's possible it can come down here, and let me bring back these moving averages. So at minimum I think you can see Bitcoin was going way parabolic away from this green line. This is 10 moving average, and now it's just it. So Bitcoin can still come down. This red is 50 SMA, so it's going to start going higher here. So around 28,000, 27,000, that will be good area to buy. But the best buy would be on this trend line. Okay, any tags of this trend line, if you go back down there, that will be great area to buy Bitcoin. All right. Again, so if you come back down, there's a bit of support here. So if I draw a support line, let me quickly see here. So a support here like this. Okay, that's exactly when, if I zoom in, you can see the support area. This is around 26,000. Also, if I draw a fib retracement from here, this pump from here to the top, and let me get rid of the support line just to see the buy zone. This whole area is a very nice buy zone. Okay, so this area is anywhere from 28. Let me get rid of this. So this is anywhere from 28,726 to 27,000. Okay, so when Bitcoin comes down there, look to buy in this, and most likely on this trend line for another higher high, maybe equal high, and then before we get a significant drop. Again, a reminder, there is a big gap at 20K on Bitcoin, so eventually we're gonna go and fill this gap. I don't know when. This is on futures, and then that gap on Ethereum is around 1428. Okay, so just be mindful of that. And Ethereum is weaker than Bitcoin. You can see now it came all the way to 50 SMA, finding support here, but it's again all in this big zone here. It's a chop zone basically. So you can see before it was support, it moved out, then came back, support, then broke down, and again now it's falling as a resistance. Also, the good thing on Ethereum, it's on this trend line, so it's very close to this trend line. So this trend line is around 1739, so it could come down a little bit more, find some support on this trend line, and then bounce. Okay, so again, same thing. It will do exactly what Bitcoin does. So, but it's a bit weaker. So, um, actually, Bitcoin recovered very nicely. If I go to 1 hour chart, it was down heavily before, almost 2.5 to 3%, and now it's going higher. But if you watch my channel, I told you this is the time to take profits. If you took profits, wait for the dip, and you can buy again on this trend line and on this dip. Okay, guys, that's it for crypto. And if you're still here, for crypto, just on your way out, hit the like button, thumb button. Thank you. Now let's quickly move on. S&P 500, which is US 500. So basically we are getting this bounce, which I have nothing, I've changed nothing here. So we're getting this bounce. I'm looking for this bounce to fail, and then actually look to buy here. Now it's possible this was already happened, so it's quite possible this already happened, and we are now straight going higher. But this is my preferred scenario. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think I'm looking for a little bit more sell-off around this area, around 4,300, just below 4,300, 4280. So that will be good area to buy for another pump higher to previous highs, and then a significant risk happening later in the year. So same thing here. Let's quickly look at S&P 500 SPY. So basically SPY was flat, nothing changed. If I go to 1 hour chart, I don't see any gaps. So again, same projection. And S&P 500 looking for bounce to fail. Oh wait, did we fill this gap? Let's quickly see. Yeah, we filled this another gap, so now we can get rid of that. Now there's another gap here around, let me fix this a little bit. There's a gap here around 439, so maybe we fill this gap, then we go down. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But looking for lower prices and a bounce, and then again lower prices. Triple Qs is Nasdaq, and triple Qs again fill this gap. You can see now there are no gaps on the upside to fill. You can see this gap is filled, so I can get rid of this. You can see how nicely all these gaps are filled. Now there's another gap here at the bottom around, so for triple Qs tech stock, nothing is on the upside, mostly all gaps are to the downside. So looking for that gap to fill, maybe a bounce, and then eventually go lower. Dow Jones, no gaps here, but there's a gap at the up, and then there's a massive gap at the bottom. It's still very close to the buy zone, so look to buy any dips. IWM came to the buy zone a couple of days ago and just bounced above now. And let's go to 1 hour chart and see if this gap is filled. Still this gap is not filled, so probably tomorrow we're going to fill this gap. Again, it's buy the dip. Any dips you get, look to buy IWM, which is Russell 2000. Let's quickly look at gold. Gold is also holding this trend line on basically 200 EMA line. This is the light blue line. You can see it found support here, now very close to a support. So it's pretty much very close to the bottom from my opinion. And there's a slight gap here around 1871. If I go to 1 hour chart, let's see. Let me move out a bit. That gap was a while ago, so let's see if we can find it. You can see this, I think there was a gap around, if I zoom in, I have to hide these lines to be visible. This gap, you can see this gap here around 1869. So we could go as low as that, but no guarantees, okay? So this gap is here, and I don't see any other gaps. So yeah, but no guarantees we're gonna go that low. Gold is having a lot of pressure from central banks, so looking for this eventually to pick high very soon. Okay, gold miners. Let me bring in. Gold miners were weak today, but this could be a stop rate. You can see what happened here before we went to equal lows, slightly lower lows, and also it's below this trend line. So if you are careful, or actually on 1 hour chart it filled the gap, so there was a gap here yesterday. You can see the gap here, so it's filled, so you can get rid of this. Actually there's another gap here. I don't think we're gonna go as low as that, but okay, sorry, I got the wrong gap missed here. This gap here, this was filled, so you can get rid of that. And there is looks like, let me hide these, there could be some other gaps here. So there's a gap here, and there is I think yeah, that's the only gap left now, so we can get rid of this. Okay, so yeah, so worst case we can go to fill bottom gaps, but you can see all the top gaps there. Also we are now below this trend line. This could be a stop rate, so be careful. Although we are in a buy zone, I'm looking for this to be bought up very soon. Okay, and this resistance we can get rid of now, so looking for a pump very soon. And let's keep moving. Crude oil, again just chopping around between support and resistance. You can see red line is support, sorry, red line is resistance, green line is support, just chopping around. No firm target right now. So it looks like this dip might have happened, but we are, until we go above or below, there's no certain basically direction on crude oil. So I'm kind of flat on crude oil. Let's see, it's possible we can go down and go below this previous low. So I think yeah, I'm not too bullish, I would say that way, on crude oil. Natural gas, basically just cooling off, but also on this trend line it can still sell off a bit, and if it comes all the way here around 2.43, look to buy. That's the support line, and that will be a good buy here. Let's quickly look at copper at G1. Again in the buy zone, look to buy copper. It's very nicely in the buy zone. This is the time you want to buy copper. Palladium is in a bullish falling wedge. You can see it fell below and buyer stepped in. Very bullish sign. Okay, so look to buy palladium. Wheat just cooling down again. It's on this trend line. Actually, it came right on this trend line. Also, there's some support here. It's although below this trend line, but it can find. You can see this wedge. Now it can come and back test this. So if it come here around 636, look to buy. It's in the buy zone right now. Wheat as well. Corn. Really bearish price action. I don't like corn at this time, so looks like it wants to put a new low. So I want to see a new low with some divergences before I buy corn. Stay away from it for now. Soya beans, I think it's in a buy zone. You can see it's a buy zone. Sugar, not trading it right now. It's now finding support here. It broke this trend line. It's like a falling knife right now. Wait for some divergences to build before you buy sugar. Bond market, just kind of chopping around here, looking for lower equal lows or lower low. And let's keep moving. Let's look at sectors. XLE energy sector is bouncing, but there's a massive gap here. I don't know if it's gonna full very soon, but we'll see. And let's go to 1 hour chart and see if there's any gap that is filled. No, still this gap is not filled. XLU very close to the trend line, and it was a great day to buy XLU. If you did not buy before, you can see how nicely it came right on this trend line, find support, and now still holding here. Okay, so today was a good day to buy utilities. XLV, which is healthcare, finding support on this 200 SMA line. So looks like this tip might be it, and now we're heading higher. So that's quite possible. XLI, industrial, just flat, but looking for some lower prices on industrial sector. And real estate above all moving averages, looking really bullish for some reason. So although prices are going, like interest rates are going higher, but looks like charts are telling me something else. So looks like this bottom is in, looking for higher prices. XLF 0.24, there's a gap here. That's the only thing which is bothering me. So if we come back to 31.97, look to buy financials before a bounce. Tesla was up 2.4%, but this could easily be a dead cat bounce before we go lower. So I'm not interested in buying Tesla. I'll be buying Tesla right at the bottom here. I'm not interested in any of these price actions, so stay away. Look at all these green lines. These are the gaps to fill. Apple, new highs, but again on divergence, you can see PPO is showing divergence, and even RSI now started showing some divergence. Let me show you here. You can see divergence on RSI now with new highs. So not interested in Apple right now. All these gaps to the downside. Google, again, there's a massive gap here around 113, and there are a couple of gaps. So at minimum, looking for that gap to fill. Microsoft 0.38%. I'm not interested in any tech stocks to buy. I'm just showing you all the gaps and a lot of risk to the downside. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Looks like this gap is filled to the upside, slightly left this gap. So still that gap is left. So we can still have a little bit bounce before we go lower. Meta, which is Facebook, just holding this trend line. If I hide this SMA lines, you can see nicely holding this trend line. So if it breaks, be very careful. Massive divergence you can see on PPO. So be very careful on Meta. This could be a big dump whenever that happens. Amazon, same thing, multiple gaps, new highs today, but on divergence. And there's a trend line, so looking for at minimum that trend line to buy. Netflix up 3% today. Looks like another gap up, so we have to put another gap here. So let's draw it here like this. This is the gap on Netflix. Okay, so it will eventually, all these gaps should be filled, guys, so be careful. Snowflakes was up heavily this morning. Did it gap up? It just looked like a small gap, so these gaps will be filled eventually, so just be careful. NVDA down 1.8%. Nothing here. Looking very bearish. All these gaps at the bottom. I'm not interested in any tech stocks right now. AMD also 0.2 flat, but it's in the buy zone, but it can still come down. You can see all these gaps to the bottom. Intel came to the buy zone, like a support here. and now it's bouncing. You can see it came to support and bouncing, but I'm just staying away. Somebody asked me to review Nike, so let's quickly look at Nike. Where is Nike? Actually, Disney is in the buy zone. I told you before, nicely in this big area here. If I go to weekly, I can show you very nicely. It's taking a while to load. So if I draw a box here, you can see how nicely this whole area is a buy zone for Disney. Okay, buy zone here. Nike, let's go to daily chart. It's pumping. It pumped from the buy zone. Let's go to 1 hour chart and let's see if we filled any gaps. This gap is filled, so I can get rid of this. The only thing which bothers me on Nike is this gap here on 106. If we come down here, for some reason, earnings is coming very soon, looks like. So if we come back down on this around 106.7 on earnings day and Thursday, oh, actually it's tomorrow. Wow. So if we come down tomorrow, and if you're here, any of these gaps, look to buy Nike tomorrow. Okay, so if for some reason we come down here 8% down, that will be good area to buy. And let's quickly look at quick stocks which are in buy zone for tomorrow, and most of the healthcare stocks are in buy zone. Really looking to buy these. So so the stocks, well, gold miners are in the buy zone. GDX, so you can see green lines is in the buy zone. UNH, I'm keeping an eye. It's very close to the buy zone. It pumped at the end of the day, but very close. You can see these levels 471. So tomorrow, if we are coming here, look to buy it. Pfizer is in the buy zone. Looking to buy Pfizer. And if you look at daily chart, it's really nice levels to buy Pfizer. ABBV is in the buy zone as well. Let this thing pull. You can see it's in the buy zone. CVS is also in the buy zone, and you can see how nicely it's in the buy zone. Bitcoin, I can show you what happened. Bitcoin was in the buy zone, now it's pumping, so it came very close to the second deviation. Now it's going higher. Ethereum, same thing. You can see here Ethereum came in the buy zone, now still in the buy zone. And also I think Home Depot is it's still not in the buy zone, but let's see, it dropped 2.3%. Let's quickly see where Home Depot is. Oh, it's in the middle, so no trades on Home Depot. Let's quickly look at some of the banks. Goldman Sachs. You can see Goldman Sachs is Goldman Sachs, not Goldman Sachs, sorry. It's taking a while to upload. It's in the buy zone, very close to the buy zone. Okay. JP Morgan, I'm not sure if these are, it's bounced now from the buy zone. Bank of America. Most of the banks are, most of the financials are doing bad, not in the buy zone. And then last one, Citigroup. Let's quickly look at that. Again, this one is also not in the buy zone. Okay, guys, hopefully this was very helpful. And please, again, on your way out, please hit the like button and share with your friends and family. Have a good rest of the day. Take care. Bye.